don't get easier, it don't get easier. And I just can't get enough. It don't get easier, it don't get easier. You don't wonder why I never get no rest. 'Cause I wear trouble on my sleeve. Half life is gone, there's shadows on the rest. And it's hard and harder to believe. Yeah, it's hard and harder to believe. Many lies I've lived for love. It don't get easier, it don't get easier. And I just can't get enough. It don't get easier, it don't get easier. Many lies I've lived for love. It don't get easier, it don't get easier. And I just can't get enough. It don't get easier, it don't get easier. On a dead man's horse, and the sun beats to your skull. 3 days on a dead man's horse.
Welcome to you all. Can you hear me now? I bet you can. I bet you can. Okay, we did it. Sorry about that. My apologies. I don't know how that happened. All right, let's start the stream over again. What do you say? Let's try again. Nothing good happened while I was muted anyway. Just rebought a couple of times. No big deal. All right. God, I feel all talked out already, and you guys didn't hear a peep. Welcome to another S4Y stream brought to you by the sweet, sultry sounds of Leroy Towns Band. We are back with a full Sunday schedule. I've been rolling around in these streets since about 1 o'clock. The $500 and the $100 ones started early today. Would have been just as well off late regging them. I haven't gotten anywhere. You guys probably just saw me bust to New York Jets 23. We had the best of it. We did not hold. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So yeah, I'm in for 3 bullets in the 500, which is frustrating. I'm in for 2 bullets. Nope, just 1 bullet in the 100 and 1 bullet in the 215. Big week for me. Had a 40K week playing 1020 on WSOP this week. It began either last Saturday or last Sunday on stream. I can't recall. I think I started playing Heads Up on Saturday, had a good night, and then I think I continued to play on Sunday and won that session, and then played 2 more times since, my biggest session being a 17K winner. So that was nice. Paying for some of these fucking tournament buy-ins, man. They are absolutely brutal. Let's go. Let's hold. That's a nice turn for us. And ship it. We're back, baby. We're back. So yeah, on top of that, we also did our very first live stream vlogcast, which was amazing. Big thank you to Grey Torp Studios, Andre Hankshua and crew. They killed it, so much so that we're actually going to continue to run the vlogcast live each week. So moving forward, we're going to keep up with the live format. We're going to attempt to do something in that vein, bringing on guests in the future, hopefully being able to extend our reach outside of poker into other domains, potentially offering value to those who are looking for a platform to speak and those who are prominent in other communities. Ooh, this is strange. We got check raised on this board, facing a big blind defend. I mean, I guess we just call facing a small check raise, despite the fact that we have about a pot-sized bet back. Can't imagine that 9's going to matter. I was going to say, I would assume he just checks here a lot. I don't want to give free equity to like 5-6, ace-4, etc., etc. I'm just going to down bet. Just a little bit of light. This is kind of annoying when you're in his spot, but this is why you like can't check raise your gut shots and stuff on a texture like this when you only have one pot behind. Because like when you get called, you're just in no man's lane. You have no idea what your fold equity is on the turn, and you're kind of dead. I mean, we can't get any value anymore, so now this is one of the cards. This, a 4 or a 6 would be the only cards that I would check down. Oh my god! Come on, guys! Hey-ya! God damn it. Sure, just check raise. I mean, open shove the turn, man. Or check raise. What is going on here? Let's go. Man, I don't want to be in for whatever. This is going to be huge to first. Right now it's 51,000 to first. It's already broken the 300K prize pool, which is pretty impressive. Kyle says, why do you stream on YouTube instead of Twitch? Just wondering, love the streams and all your S4Y content. Because we have a platform on YouTube, and we do not have one on Twitch. So there's no purpose for me to go and try to build one on Twitch. Just seems like a fruitless endeavor. Burke, when's the last time you ate a Snickers bar? Years. Many years. It was probably Halloween at some point in time. Many years ago. What up, Jamin? How you doing, man? What's good? I've been a liar. All right. All right, so sticking with the theme of news and notes, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing the vlogcast live moving forward. That's going to be Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Tune in. We'll be interacting with the chat, so you'll be able to kind of guide the conversation a little bit in real time. We're going to attempt to kind of have a real-time show protocol. So it's going to be something a lot more similar to what you're used to watching with like a rundown show of sorts. And we get to go a little bit longer now. You know, we're not necessarily handcuffed by time constraints because we don't have to worry about edits in post. So looking forward to that for sure. Secondarily, if you're interested, we are running homeschool again on June 1st, so a week from Monday. That's going to be the second iteration, and brutal. It is going to be. Sorry, I got distracted. It's going to be very similar to the first time around. The only difference is we are going to swap the days that we do review, and mostly that's just going to be for the group work. We want to give people the weekend to kind of work on it rather than forcing them to work throughout the week while taking the course, etc., etc., etc. But the details of that will be Monday through Friday. We'll be having class. Saturday will be office hours as it was last time, and then the breakdown of each day will be Mondays are review, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the labs that will set up the lectures. So this will be a lot of solver work that Hunt will run you through on PO, basically demonstrating in action a lot of the first principle theories that Christian and I will be talking about in the lectures. Then Wednesdays and Fridays, Christian and I will be giving those lectures. So hopefully, as you have the tangible proofs to look at from the day before, a lot more will resonate with the student themselves. We're not positive that that's the best approach, but it seems like a good thing to try out and see which one works better. We're still kind of in the testing phase with this entire process. So, the first one I thought went really well, but there are some small tweaks that we can make to it that will, I think, show themselves in the second iteration. So, if you have any interest, the link is in the description below, or you can just head to S4Y You'll be able to find it in the shop there as well. The curriculum is available through either means, so you'll get a full breakdown of what it is that we'll be teaching. I gave in to Andre. I changed the camera angle a little bit. I'm not so sure that he's right. I'm just sure that I'm probably wrong. So we'll leave it at that. All right, we're finally going to get all in here in this 500. Let's hope to fade the re-entry here. I don't want to put another 500 in. I had a good week. I don't want to start firing it all off on MTTs. We're already in for like 3K today. There's still a 1K, 100K coming up later in the day. It's actually running right now, but it's the one that's not as good of a structure. It's 12-minute levels instead of 15. So for that reason, I'm just going to max late reg it. I'm kind of being nitty about the WSOP structures these days, but I've really come to discover that most of the ROI is just in reducing the amount of average buy-ins that you're in for. The second that you're able to do that, like, you just naturally increase your return pretty significantly. And the way that the way some of these worse structures are set up is your ROI is just going to get crippled by firing early. All right, big double there. We faded. It's good. A little over 20 now. Matt Morgan asks, is the vlogcast live next week or taking a break? We are live starting Wednesday. No break. Girl with eyes like ocean breeze. She spends the nights and stays with me. She loves me like a river loves the sea. Oh, okay. Ay, ay, ay. What is going on here? Probably should have shoved ourselves. This is a bit of a loose call to begin with. Yeah. Yep. Kravika says, I watched your Nemesis Poker Guru on Twitch. Less said, the better. I don't know what that means. I'm also, is that the guy who challenged me to heads up for rolls? Is that who we're talking about? What up, Vito? How you doing, man? What up, Alan D? My man. Caleb in the chat, also here in Vegas. Congratulations for making it out here. Jamin says he's gonna start spinning up badminton tournaments over Zoom. Shit would be huge. Probably would be, to be honest. This feels close, but okay. At King 7 suited here, this feels pretty close. I think if cut opens, I for sure have a layup shove. You see that flop, we wish we would have. When are we going to talk about the Perkins suite? What do you want to talk about, man? Pose a question and I'll give you an answer. All right, we're going to be looking to reshove here. This $100 one got huge. $35,000 the first. Yeah, we're all in. Good luck us. Let's go team. Well, I like drinking whiskey most every night. Over here for 20. I actually kind of like limping here. It's close. I'm just going to raise. I'm going to raise. I'm overthinking it of what New York Jets is going to be doing to me. Daytona rips. I got a pretty close spot, I think. Yeah. I have a pretty close spot. 20. Facing a big blind shove. It's probably just a fold. It's really just a matter of like how mindful is he that I'm the cutoff instead of the button. If I were the button, I think I have a layup call here. From the cut, I'm just going to assume he knows what he's doing. To your memory. Leaving me high and dry, girls. God bless it. Check, check, flop. I bet pot on the turn. He calls. And then I check, call, river. Oh, no justice, man. No justice. Wow, how does this hand just call pre? I probably made a mistake pre-flop also. No, I think it's fine to raise off 21. He actually played the hand fine. It's just frustrating that I lost. It's a really good no bet by him on the flop. All right, flop the nut. Ooh, wow, we're just all in two spots. Fuck, this is gonna be. This might not be a call off. Ugh. I maybe made a boo boo here. I don't know, man. He's just not folding sevens under the gun. I don't think he's doing anything else with it, so this is probably fine. Let's go. We need a hold. GG. 8. All right. At least we made the nuts in the 500. Bet third pot. And just win. All right, let's see what else we can pull up. Man, there's a lot of action today. All right, there's a $55 75K. It's re-entry add-on. I'm gonna fire that up. I gotta. All right, give me a second. I will get that fixed. Pretty good flop for us, blind versus blind. In a limp pot. I think we just call, having no diamond. It's a good turn. Not the best turn, but a good turn. I think we just check back now. Oh, brutal river. Doesn't really change much. I guess it doesn't change anything, really. Only ace 4 gets there that wasn't already there. Okay, I think we have a call. Diamonds miss. Oh, that's so annoying. Man, that's annoying. Oh god, very first hand of the 50 re-entry add-on, I get it in Kings vs Ace Queen for 100 big blinds. I can't show you yet because I haven't pulled it up. And he just smashes the ace. Very frustrating, very frustrating. Oh my god, we bust here too. Got that all in on the turn. Fuck. Oh, this is still re-entry. Okay, I don't feel so bad. Oh, yeah, man, they're really sticking it to us today. So right after we bust with kings, we get queens the very next hand. Not quite as much action. We do get let into, which is nice. We're going to go ahead and raise. How funny is this? We're dominated the next hand. I mean, it's for peanuts, but it's kind of whatever. Not a great turn. Not a great turn. Let me think. 7-8 gets there. Spades don't. Do we have a check back or do we have a bet? I think this is a clear check back. It's not the worst river. It's not exactly the best, but it's not the worst. Alright, now I think we have a very clear bet. We have a lot of bluffs here with the way this pot was constructed. So I think 2/3 is pretty, or 3/4 is pretty good. What was his hand? Just busted spades, I guess. Okay. Alright, 20 bigs here on the button. Ace Jack's probably too strong to just open shove, I think, for this many. I think we can just induce. Would rather open shove like our suited wheel aces, etc. King, queen. It's good news. That is good news. Let's go. Excellent news for us. If you're feeling... Alright. I'm all caught up now after all of that annoyance. Brian says, when you late reg, how many big blinds do you start with? Usually 10, if I max late reg. Bustin' balls, yeah. Blue heron, don't leave me hanging. No, we'll still do Thursday vlog sessions. Or sorry, Thursday streams. Hopefully. I'm pretty confident we'll keep up the streaming. Don't quote me on it though. Rachel Say says, Berkey, thoughts on Perkins accusations? I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts. God damn. You're dead. This is a freeze out too, so that was a very unfortunate turn of events. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts. He's playing in very exclusive private games that are set up amongst his peers and assumed to be very clean across the board. As best I understand it, what was happening is the game that he was playing in was all recreationals and businessmen. Some of those businessmen took it upon themselves to hire pros to team view into their accounts and play, which is obviously beyond unethical. And Perkins found out about it, so that's where we're at right now. I'm just waiting to see what it's going to look like when the other shoe drops. All right, here we flop a flush draw. We check call about half pot. Turn a pair facing third pot-ish, 40%, I guess. I'll call again. Jack River, I think this is close. I don't think blocking serves us any. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. Mark Goodrich says, do you think it'll involve anybody that you are friends with? No, because I'm not friends with anybody in the poker community, basically. I think it's certain to involve people that I am acquaintances with, that I've played high stakes with for sure, but nobody that really impacts me directly like that. I can say that pretty confidently. None of my friends are really playing nosebleeds at the moment, and certainly none of them have been paid to play for any fun players, if you will. Sean Oy says, Yo, Berkey, I'm not in the same time zone, about 8 hours ahead. What time would homeschool run U.S. time? It's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific, so that would be 11 p.m. for you, I guess. Come on, man. What is happening today? I gotta stop complaining, because like this is just the way all-in poker is played. You're ahead, you're behind, you win, you lose. It is what it is. It's just frustrating. Let's see. Brian Roy says, Hey Berkey, just watched Hindsight 2020 at 5. It was great. Did you hand PokerGo a final product, or did they do the graphics? It was awesome. I hope to see more. We just handed them a final product. So they gave us the footage from WSOP. Everything you see created there is a byproduct of Pigtails. You have them to thank. I think they did an amazing job. And the finale, I think, is going to be a banger. It's the 2012 main event final table with Jesse Sylvia, Greg Merson, and Jake Balsinger. Wild final table. A lot of action, to say the least. I think we gotta go for it here. Hope that one of these guys ISOs the other one out. Yeah, let's hope that's like King Queen. We can chop this. Big card. Okay. Pair. God, that's so annoying. The turn's just a 6. We chop. Come on, man. Come on. All right. I gotta say, if I'm gonna run below EV here and run above it EV in cash, I'll live with it. I will absolutely live with it. All right, so I'm just two tabling now. The only thing I got left to register is the 1K. Yeah, I don't really see me firing it up anytime soon. This is definitely going to be a max late reg type of event. Brian Roy says, also in regards to the 2020 hindsight, it seems you're being nice and not bashing anyone's play. Is that true? I was encouraged by PokerGo to be the exact opposite. They told me to be very shrewd and to light people apart. So I just try to be fair and give them the benefit of the doubt that a lot of this stuff was taking place 10 plus years ago. But I don't mince words whenever it comes to acknowledging that strategy has changed. And I'm not afraid to be a little bit critical. Mike Hogan says, love the streams. What do you think about the Venetian plan to run four-handed poker? Is it better to wait for 6 to 9-handed games to come back or give it a try? I guess it's up to you and your level of risk tolerance. I'm not really sure what the games are going to be like in this short-handed environment where people don't feel very confident being in large groups of people. So I guess I would just, for me personally, I'm going to wait. Online's been pretty good. Oh yeah, sorry, the clock's messed up. I got you. The way she holds that gun brings out the devil in me. 'Cause I'm never gonna lie. All right, we're cruising. Jamin says, going to attempt my first Murph tomorrow. I hope I don't die. Murph equals a 1 mile run, 300 squats, 200 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and another 1 mile run. Yeah, that sounds intense as hell. I love it. I had a bet with Nick Howard that never came to fruition where I did 250 push-ups and 1 mile over 30 minutes. And you could do it however you chose to do it. So I would sprint for 1/10 of a mile at a time, and I just did like 10 sets of 25 push-ups. I think it was 250 push-ups. It may have been 500. I can't recall. But in any event, what is happening here? It's dust. He bet me that he could do it in under 20 minutes, which is almost certainly impossible. He was counting on keeping a 7-minute mile pace, which just isn't feasible whenever you're doing all of those push-ups alongside of it. But more power to the man. He thinks he can do it. I'm excited for him to try. I think you'll be able to do this, Jamin. I don't know precisely what your cardio is, but you're on that incumbent all the time, so I think that this will be more doable than you believe, especially if there's no time constraint. I'd love to try it with you once my back stops being completely a mess. And yeah, the 100 pull-ups are definitely going to be the hardest part. By far. Like, for sure, that's going to take a significant amount of the time. The 200 push-ups and 300 squats, I think you'll blow through. I'll take the under on you doing 10 sets of 10 pull-ups. I don't know anything about your pull-up game. I just know that I could do. I've tried this before, so I've tried to do 500 push-ups, 200 pull-ups, and I failed on the pull-up side at like 150. And I started with the premise that I would do sets of 10, but when it was all said and done, I was doing 30 push-ups for every 6 pull-ups, and I kept scaling down. The pull-ups just kept getting tougher and tougher, where the push-ups were kind of like just no big deal. I think you can do 100 pull-ups though, for what it's worth. Nussbaum says, Burke, if you're part of the cheating scandal, it strangely wouldn't bother me. I'm very non-judgmental. I think people do the best they can. I gotta tell you, I would expect us to judge people who are part of the cheating scandal, to be honest. I'm a big fan of encouraging people to be less judgmental when it comes to petty little nuances, which is unfortunately the cesspool that social media has kind of turned into, where everything just gets picked apart limb by limb. But yeah, when people are deceiving other people for large sums of money, that's shitty, man. That is that's certainly morally corrupt amongst a lot of other things. But I do appreciate the notion of forgiveness. Sorry. I think that that's a very valuable trait just in general for people to possess. And I think that, like, yeah, I mean, I think, like, if it ever came out how much our heroes of the past are flawed, everybody would suddenly have to juggle with the fact that they've rooted for somebody who's ultimately a little scummy. It's a nice one to win. Good luck, Maurizio, in the money in the GG Sunday 10, 1,231 runners. Let's go. Do it, my man. Doyle definitely has cheating in his past, for sure. And I wouldn't be so quick to forgive him because I think if given the opportunity, he may be quick to do it again tomorrow. Garrett says, I want to hear more about the 40K cash week. Any hands worth going over? Honestly, man, it was a gift. It was a fucking gift. There is one player in particular who I will allow to remain nameless, who has massive tilt issues. And my two biggest sessions were a 12K win and a 17K win. In both sessions, it came almost directly through him. And it was like he was just all in for $2,000 every single hand. It's like you pick up nines and you're just happy to get in 200 big blinds pre and have him dominated. So there actually wasn't a whole lot to speak about. I'm sure that it's more interesting than making it sound and that there were actual fun hands to talk about. But it's more likely that I played those on stream on Sunday whenever I stream for you guys than it is that it happened in the two big sessions. Looking for the child that wandered while you slept. Finding footprints in the gold. All right, I'm going to take a brief break. I'll be back in 5. right. Just in time. What did we miss? Oh, baby. Yeah, Nick's a little on the optimistic side, to say the least. Am I back playing pickleball yet? I've been trying to play pickleball the whole time. I can't get anybody who venture out there with me. That's been the big issue. Fingers crossed, though, sometime this week, we're going to get a game going. Caleb's out here now. We're going to drag him out. Things are starting to slow down a little bit. It's kind of calm before the storm. Once homeschool starts next week, it's going to get a little chaotic again. Oh man, if you're gonna be doing kipping push-ups or whatever they're called, or pull-ups rather, you'll get 100 out, no problem. Those things, there's a huge difference between a strict, what's the word? Like a strict static pull-up versus a kipping pull-up. Part of which will be your rotator cuff, but that aside. There's a lot of kinetic motion going into the kipping. Stand in the fire now, nobody's waiting. Alright, let's see. So everybody who watched the vlogcast this week, what did you guys think of the live version of it? Like, I guess, like, what would you change? What would you add? What types of, like segments or what have you would you like to see us try to work in? We're trying to get a little creative with it this second iteration around. So I guess I'm all ears to any sort of critical feedback anybody might have. Like, what specifically did you actually like about this week's? What didn't you like that we could potentially change in the future? Feel free to fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to entertain any feedback you guys have. Giovanni says, Berkey, how about try the camera angle that Andre suggested during the vlogcast? That's what we're working with, man. See? Well, I guess you can't see because of the mic, but see? There it is. There's the old S4Y logo. I don't really know how to get this mic out of the way. I guess I can do that. As long as that sounds like okay there, I can roll with that one. What up, Jess? How you doing? Where's Chin been? Where has Chin been? That's a great question. I don't want to put that there. I'm trying to give you guys the angle. Let me maybe move this a little bit. This way, this way, this way. Paul says, hey Berkey, there was a 200-page study done on PokerStars over 50,000 hands, which concluded that it's 100% rigged. Frequencies are bumped to increase the action to satisfy all players. Any thoughts? Love from UK. I can't give any thoughts without seeing the study, man. I've no idea. No idea. Also, 50,000 hands is like nothing. It's literally not much, man. I mean, we're talking about, for one specific human being, we're talking about like a month worth of play. Less probably, maybe a week or so. Same camera as Poker Gonzo. We just finally got the color balance fixed, and Andre and his crew were kind enough to take care of us, fix the things we were doing wrong. Do I play on any other site? I dabble. Nothing I would be comfortable streaming, and nothing I feel super safe about promoting to anybody else. But yeah, I play some other stuff here and there that's of high value. Not often though. I mean, I'm really only playing when I'm streaming, outside of playing cash on WSOP. So really, most of what I play is just on here. Giant canvas, don't you miss it? Legend of Arson says, been watching S4Y videos all day, grinding Matt Hunt MTT videos until I'm done with them. Let's go, man. Let's go. Ay. We running into it, boys. Okay. Alright, show. We got an 8s versus queens for 20 bigs. Rebuy. The trick to these double rebuy add-on, etc., is just to buy in for the single. You're almost always getting ripped off whenever you pay for the double stack. Especially when it's unlimited. DVO said, where's the chat feed from? Twitch? No, that's from YouTube. It's from what you're watching. Singing. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. just in the nick of time. Between the heartache. Live is great. It seemed like you did too much and not sustainable. We probably didn't do as much as you think. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we did was probably just production handling it. I mean, they have a full capacity to run a show, like a full blown show. The cat's here. He's lurking. He'll be around. Don't worry. Oh, quads, you say? Quads, you say? I guess we check. What else can we do with quads? Dennis says, I enjoyed the live show. Chin is quite witty on the hop. Chat interaction, I think, was an improvement. Yeah, we'll be able to do more of that for sure. This 4 is pretty nice. I think we just have to check again. We're just kind of hoping that he has a stab here. What do you think about how Perkins led us on trying to get everyone curious and talking about without revealing anything? I think you're viewing this through self-interested lens. I don't think Perkins' intention was to lead anyone on. Lead them on for what? Like, lead them on where? I don't understand. Like, this isn't something that the community was like entitled to by any stretch. I think what Perkins did was smart. People have been scumming for years, and a lot of them still remain in action today. So for him to do what will allow everybody to eventually get paid, or allow people to get made whole as quickly as possible, I think is really intelligent. I think viewing it through the lens of, I guess, like, he owes us, the community, more details is very skewed. I don't really see like how that's the case in any capacity. I think for the most part, he's already divulged enough. You have to understand that, like, it's not like he's playing in an open pool with like thousands of players who could potentially be taken advantage of in the future. He's playing against 8 other people, all of which I'm sure have been contacted about the cheating, and all of which are very likely to be in a situation where they're grateful that he was able to out the eventual crew or whatever the case may be, who were responsible for this. So I think, like, from my vantage point, it's much to do about nothing in the sense of people getting upset with Perkins. I don't see where he did anything wrong. I don't know. To me, it's like you're not inciting a riot. It's not like he went into a movie theater and shouted fire, He alerted the poker community to the fact that there are high-stake poker cheats, and that's not shocking news to anybody. Whatever details we get beyond that is just gravy, in my opinion. Joe said, I did like the live show. Maybe keep the structure of the show having a Q&A section. I don't think we're going to do Q&A. I'm all for incorporating chat whenever we possibly can, but the only way I would do anything of that regard is if we did like a panel, which I'm really interested in doing. I like that idea a lot of getting 3 to 5 experts on some sort of subject and having a moderator, and just like kicking around open debate where it's very clear, like, questions are very clearly delegated, similar to like what we see with presidential debates, only done in good faith instead of whatever the hell we want to call what we tend to see in those arenas. What up, Lily? How you doing? Nice to see you here. Ed Nussbaum says, Burke, do you know any dudes in their 50s who legitimately make a living playing poker? I do. Albeit not a lot, but there are certainly some. Does Andre now work for S4Y and run it up? Andre works, he's his own entity. He started Grey Torp Studios, and he just runs production as a bit of a hired gun, if you will. So yeah, we have a close working relationship, and he's willing to help out, and we appreciate him for it. All right, good luck us. It's weird that he didn't just shove. It's probably a strong hand. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, big hold. Nope, not gonna be this time. Rebuy. Giovanni says, would like to see the live production squad as often as possible. Maybe invite Chris on for the on second thought portion. What on second thought? We're probably not going to have that product available again for quite some time, because we need to be able to film Poker Out Loud, which we're just not able to do right now. Michael Walter says, hey Berkey, huge fan, good luck tonight. I like guest appearance, question and answer, and maybe some sort of surprise segment only a few people know about. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool idea. Yeah, I think we'll be able to hopefully do a little bit more as far as inviting guests go. Really, it's all about me figuring out a way to find reach outside of poker, I think. That's, to me, what interests me the most at this point. Michael Walter says, can't really see the screen, it's all blurry. That sounds like something on your end, man. Nobody else is complaining about it, so I'm guessing that you're having bandwidth issues. Eric says, do you have any advice for tilt at the live tables, as in something you do that does not involve you leaving the game for the night? Honestly, the best advice I can give you is to check out the new course on S4Y TV called Resilience. We discussed this at length. There are three lessons so far. I think we're going to be doing 2 or 3 more. And it just speaks very heavily towards conquering tilt, conquering mental game, shifting from one arena to another, just all of the things that are necessary to play this game professionally. Berkey, there's speculation that D-Negs is the cheater in the Perkins case. I can, with almost entire certainty, say that that's not true. I'm not 100% certain, but I am just about 99%. Whoops. Almost forgot the rebuy. Daniel's too rich to cheat. Also, you have to understand how the cheating took place. A recreational player hired a high-level professional, like a super killer professional. No offense to Daniel, but like nobody's hiring him to play in their spot in a rec game. And that's not even a slight against his ability, but it's like he doesn't need the money, so he's unwilling to compromise his morals. And of the people who do need the money, they're probably far sharper when it comes to online poker. Perkins would be the perfect guest for your live show. Make that happen, Burke. I'll see. You know what? I'll see. I'll talk to him this week and see if he's interested in coming on Wednesday. My guess is he's probably not going to want to make too much of a public statement until he has more leeway to talk openly about it. But we'll dig in. We'll see what we can do. All right, good luck, us. Squeeze rip. So maybe this is worth clarifying because one of my friends texted me and asked for a little clarity on it. He said he noticed that I said that in these rebuy add-on tournaments, it's almost always a ripoff to double rebuy. And intuitively, that probably doesn't make much sense. But when you start to think about the ICM model, what you have to recognize is that you would never pay double for a double stack in any event, right? So whether you're talking about going from 100 blinds to 200 blinds or 5 big blinds to 10 big blinds, a double up is never, or I should say is rarely, worth 2x the buy-in when you're outside of being in the money. Now, obviously, that's fundamentally changed whenever you're like on the bubble, in the money, like in the arena of being able to make money. You would actually pay a lot more for maybe a below average stack on the bubble. But early in an event, you never want to purchase chips. There's just really no direct one-to-one correlation for the ICM model and the cost of actually buying those chips. Lisa said, I definitely like the live, including the chat, and just listen to you on Preach. I'm missing something. I think you're asking, like, do you prefer me to be in the hot seat, or would I prefer to interview others? If that was the question, I certainly prefer to be the one being interviewed. Being the interviewer is a skill that I've been working hard and diligently to acquire, but it's not easy. And it's definitely something that I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, good at. It's very easy to answer questions. It's very, very hard to come up with poignant questions to ask. Mark Goodrich says, bring back that girl to interview from the free roll. She's cute and smart. I totally could see you dating her. Who are we talking about? From Kinsey from Morning Brew. Yeah, she's amazing. I would love to do a full interview with her. I would love to do a full interview with Nate Silver, who we had on that episode. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of opportunity to hopefully branch out into that arena. I'm very interested in knowing a little bit more about how, I guess, like Kinsey got her start into Morning Brew. Just because that whole platform in and of itself, it's crazy. They have I think they have 2 or 3 million subscribers, and it was just a newsletter. Like that's insane to me. That seems so impossible. Scale to me just seems so hard. This is a pretty annoying spot. I kind of messed up. I limped under the gun. I probably should have just open ripped off 20. Now at this point, I think I just have to call. I have too much equity. Piles and piles of outs, or we could have just, held. I guess he's probably never bluffing when he rips turn, though. But we do have just a tremendous amount of equity. Pettywop says, aren't the 8 people that Perkins is playing all going to be rich friends and people with money that just play for fun? Yes, which is why he's so upset that one or some collection of them deceived the group by hiring skilled professionals. Alan Morgan says, hi Berkey, enjoyed the vlogcast. Hunt and Andre were great. Would you consider casting your phones to heads-up monitors out of shot? Not a fan of the constant look down. Yeah, we'll have a monitor this next go-around. And we're also going to do a better job with the cuts. They weren't exactly super clean this week. Yeah, Rachel, that's a fair point. I think that you share the sentiment of most of Twitter, and I guess when I, opened this stream today, while I was muted, which you guys didn't hear, I said we can talk about it, but you're probably not going to like my view, my point of view. A lot of that is just born off the fact that, it's first of all, it's he tweeted his stream of consciousness to begin with, he literally found out that he was being cheated in a 7-figure game by people that he considered to be friends and peers, and then, immediately just decided to take it public, which I think is very reasonable. The fact that the public didn't get satiated as far as enough juice, I don't think is Bill's concern, nor should it be. And I think that, like, you're right. It definitely probably wasn't the most. It wasn't the most, I guess, politically correct way of handling it. Maybe in the sense that the public gets the perception that he was just leveraging status in order to flesh out the rat. But even if that were the case, I don't think that that's a bad thing either. By any means necessary at this point. Like, whatever gets people made whole, I think is very fair. And I think if there's collateral damage of people on Twitter being upset about it, it kind of just is what it is. We as people, just like, we can't help ourselves. We're obsessed with the idea of being in the know, of seeing a train wreck in action, and being able to be a part of all this stuff. But him not outing anybody at this point isn't harmful, right? People like to make the case that I guess, that by him not saying anything, this cheater goes free, and other people are going to become victimized in the community, yada yada yada. It's well, that's largely untrue. He's playing in pretty rare air with a very select amount of people, and the people who are the professionals that went against their moral compass to do this, yeah, they're going to play in other high stakes games. But that community polices itself really well. The general public doesn't need to know anything for the high stakes community to be put on guard. There's a list of probably 20 of people that are highly revered in the public eye that I know not to do high stakes business with because they've done some pretty shady shit and their moral compass is very compromised. So, you get used to that. That's all. We might just bust here to Mr. Altman. This is a pretty awkward spot. He obviously has some Queen X. I think we just have to call. What are his bluffs here? We block 9-10. 6-7 is open. All diamonds are open. Could just be double barreling Ace X. These are always so awkward in tournaments. Yeah, I think we just call. I mean, we could turn our hand into a bluff now. But I don't think that's necessary. I don't think we ever get better to fold. That card should stop him from shoving some of the time. And when he does, we can fold a little bit more frequently. 9-10 and 6-7 both get there. This line was kind of set up from jump. One pair of hands really should be shoving at this point, but he wasn't really playing his hand as he had one pair to begin with. This is tough. Ace 10 makes a lot of sense here. So does King 10. We block that, but he's opening both the offsuit varieties. All right, I think we just have to pay. I mean, I think we were taking this line anyway. Kings make sense too. It's unfortunate. It's annoying to be at a table with a good player in a tournament that big when you only have 18 blinds and you're facing a button open. When you flop equity, it's just going to be hard to ever fold. Tinny says, have you thought about using one of the apps to do the Academy remote? Have us play on low stakes. You guys still do the voiceover. It's useless. We don't get to see your cards. The gameplay just like has little to no value whatsoever. Zeph says, I'm thinking about buying a subscription to a training. I'm leaning towards Run It Once. Any reason I should choose you guys over them? Just depends on what your qualifications are. Run It Once is very vast and very dense without much direction. If you are more familiar with your starting point, we'll help you streamline a lot. So we have our guided trading page, which gives you entry points to what it is that you hope to study. On top of that, we're only $10, where they're 100. So I'll never discourage anybody from going to Run It Once, but I think that the grain of salt is kind of that Run It Once is geared very much towards high-level professionals and confusion, in my opinion. There's a lot of information to parse, and if you're not good at understanding where to start, where to finish, then you're probably just not going to perform very well through that training. But for the analytical mind who is looking to comb through a lot of solver work, it's a good place to go. Mark says, read up on the Call Your Daddy drama and the millions involved with their podcast. It's an amazing story. Yeah, I'm very familiar. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the podcast. It's great. It's getting... Hey, we did it. We got out on one. Man, it's been a rough Sunday. Already out of the 500, already out of the 100. 500 was close. I probably could find a reason to fold that river when he shoves. It's a nice spot to be Altman in that situation with an overpair. Just a memory. There's a 550K 6 max that starts in a half hour. Probably late reg that as well. I think the structure is very similar. Yeah, only 10-minute levels. Especially being six-handed, there's no reason to be in there on time. Cash is dead. What are we gonna do? We're just gonna grind this $50 tournament, I guess. Ben says they'll never get action from Bill and his buddies ever again. You have to realize, though, like, whatever pros are involved in this that were being paid to ghost for a wreck aren't getting into these big games anyway. So they see this as a way of carving out the EV or carving out their EV in a realm that's untouchable to them. And, you know, for some people, that line isn't as blurry as it would be for others. You know, for me, I just don't think that... Whatever, like, some things are untouchable, you know. You can't force yourself into a realm. You have to do what you want to, or you have to do what you can to get grandfathered in, if you will, or get initiated in. And finding slimy ways to separate people from their money, to me, just never really works. This is kind of pukey. We're just going to try to preserve here a little bit. See a cheap one. Middle pair limp pot. Our hand's not going to get any better, that's for sure. I don't really see any reason to not try to end this hand right here, right now. Pretty easy fold here. Well, now it's definitely an easy fold. Wow, 10-3 off. And aces checks their option in the big blind. What is happening right now? Oh no, he limped under the gun. I see. Okay, I see. Or did he? Yeah, okay, aces limped under the gun. That makes way more sense. So hard. It's so hard. Man, when you late reg these tournaments, this schedule gets really weird. I think I might have to bump Sunday schedules up to like a 7 p.m. stream. That way I'm either deep in the early stuff or I'm just regging the 1K and the 500. Drake says, if you swap 10% with a friend for an online poker tournament and you take it down for 20K, should he get 2K of 10% after taxes? He should just get 2K, period. It's on him to deal with taxes. You should 1099 him at the end of the year. That's the technical way to go about doing it. All right. I think this is a rip it spot. Ben says, are you feeling the itch to play cash yet? There's no cash game, man. I'm looking. Nothing's going on. There's one three-handed game that doesn't look very appealing. Wild Deuces says, hey, Berkey, will there be another Faded Spade free roll party stream? There will at some point. I just don't know when. But yes, for sure. In a warm embrace. Hello, Andre.
I heard my name.
They keep asking about production. I keep telling them that you are to thank.
Hi, everyone.
They also wanted me to use your angle, and I had to alert them that I am.
Are you, though?
Yeah, look at that. Well,
Not really.
there it is. Look at that gorgeous logo.
It would be like...
No, that is so ugly.
Well, the problem is your monitors, right?
I don't think.
It's like...
I think the problem is your taste.
No, I don't think so, Berkey. Oh, I know what looks better. Fuck you. No, that's fine.
Oh no.
I think it definitely is better.
What am I doing? How many finger smudges are
Are we
on that
doing
thing?
okay?
No.
All right,
We're out of
I'll
everything.
fix it, and then you do your thing.
We're out of everything.
Everything?
Everything that matters. We're in this $50 reentry add-on that's dust.
Doesn't feel great. But...
No. Been a long day. Long day. Doesn't seem like a long day. I've only been streaming for like 2 hours.
Oh, you've been playing for a while, though.
Yeah.
I see you grinding away.
Yeah, we had an early one.
Do you miss it?
How?
If you could never grind another day in your life, would you take that?
In exchange for what?
No, just like if you know you didn't have to rely on poker anymore, would you never do another day and just like teach, let's say?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's another grind in and of itself. I mean, I would always want to play. I just don't ever want to be emboldened to play. That's the problem. It's like when you feel like you have to be here, you have to sit here
Well,
and
that's when you
torture
play the
yourself.
worst.
Yeah, probably. Probably, or at least it's when you run the worst. When it matters the most, for sure.
Do you know what sucks just as much as that?
What?
When you feel that way about streaming.
Yeah, that's fair.
I felt like that once, and I was just, wanted to commit seppuku.
I don't know what that is, but I know what that is.
You do know what it is.
Yeah, no, I know. I wouldn't know without context. No,
Oh, okay.
I have some ideas.
What do you think seppuku is?
Suicide.
I know, but it's a very particular way.
Oh, I don't know, like head first out of a building?
No.
Oh.
You look it up. Okay, I'll just tell you.
Can't spell
it's
it.
Japanese.
Yeah, I would have guessed. So kamikaze.
No. It's you take the blade out.
Oh, right. You fall on the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds gruesome.
Yeah. It's the Japanese CEO way. After a global recession.
Sure.
By the way, I want to let you know.
Yeah.
I've been checking the news.
Mm-hmm.
Like all my financial news is doom and gloom.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because the rest of the world seems to be doing just fucking fine, man.
I mean,
I'm like in awe that nobody seems to be suffering economic hardship right now.
you see it like the bars packed and the beaches packed.
So confused.
It's just happening. It's all gonna be fine. Coronavirus is a hoax.
Yeah.
Guys, go out. It's gonna be great.
Let's get the herd immunity, baby.
Sweden's doing great. You know, they did a test in Sweden to see what percentage of the antibodies people had, and it was something low, like 20%.
Right.
And they have double the death rate of the U.S.
Wait, they didn't lock down, I'm guessing?
They didn't lock down.
Right.
They went full. Well, they did like a half lockdown.
Yeah.
So they said like old people and categories at risk, you stay home. Everybody else
Kind of like what we're moving into.
just go ham. Yeah. And they ended up not doing so great.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I fear the second wave, for sure.
yeah, it's inevitable, right?
But I fear it for like New York.
Don't worry though, because Trump said he won't shut down the economy, so we'll be okay.
Okay.
Guys, we're gonna be okay. Gonna be okay.
We're going to be just fine. Hell, and you make me choose. Lisa says, would you consider doing a segment on the live vlog of hand reviews? Pick a Sunday tournament or something. We will incorporate hands in some capacity, but I fell asleep reading the question. And that's no offense to you. I fucking hate hand histories. Like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. So there was an open under the gun and a 3-bet under the gun 1. Pause and discuss. So I can't do it. I just can't do it. But what we are interested in doing is potentially doing some produced segments similar to what we did in hindsight 2020 or 2020 hindsight. So basically taking a hand or two from stream, sending it over to Pigtails, having them smash the graphics on it, and then having the luxury of it being a cutaway instead of us having to do it in real time. But definitely won't be taking call-ins. That I can assure you will never happen. John says, what's the protocol on how many times to run a hand in cash game different as a favorite or a dog? Definitely doesn't matter, and it's irrelevant. It doesn't change the math. It just changes the variance, or it reduces the variance. Just think of it as volume. I would say do whatever. Personally, I always just defer to the person I'm up against. Whatever they want to do, I say, let's do it. Let's go for it, big guy. Kind of like us here with the second nuts. Let's go for it. I'm just going to have to bet small twice, which is very annoying. Do 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 do. Ba-da-da. In the column. Playing with the soul. A little awkward here, a little too deep to open shove, a little too shallow to raise. So we mix it up. Flop top pair, it's pretty good. You like top pair. Top pair is nice. Two bigs. If poker comes back 4 or 5-handed, should we play if we don't have that skill set, but no one else likely does either? Should we wait it out? Should we just develop the skill set? I would definitely recommend developing the skill set, but I would also recommend waiting until games are what you deem to be profitable. What is going on here? How are we ever getting check raised here? Jack 5, Jack 6. Don't know. Whatever. We have too much equity. All right. We're beating some hands. We're smashed by others. I don't really see how we ever check down here. That would be crazy. I also don't see how we get called here. Cake Sesh says, Yo, Burke, did you see the articles about the newly discovered parallel universe? I did not. Any thoughts? It sounds interesting. Not surprised, but don't know anything about it. Lily says, no more no shave Mr. Potato Head. Man, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroked. Sorry. I was running bad with the beard. What do you want from me? Do people signing up for homeschool need to do Academy Primer course or have done the first homeschool? If you miss a webinar, can you watch it later? No, you don't need to do the primer course. No, you didn't have to take the first homeschool. And if you miss a webinar, you'll get to watch it indefinitely. The videos are yours to keep forever. The primer helps. This is basically an expanded version of the primer, but it's certainly not necessary. And you can also watch the primer, the abridged version of the primer on the S4Y TV site. So you could definitely check that out. That is a nice turn card for us. If you want to prep for homeschool, but it's certainly not necessary by any stretch. Oh, snap call. Snap call, snap check. Okay. I mean, he just has a king, right? Oh, we flushed him. Should have ripped the river, man. Should have ripped the river. I clipped and shared the piece of the live vlogcast where you talked about beating the rake on some of these apps for my friends, and they didn't understand. How else can I explain it to them? A good way to explain it to them is that if let's say you're playing 50 hands an hour and 20% of them are max raked at a 1-2 game. So in that instance, 10 of them are maxed raked over the course of an hour. You're losing a full buy-in every hour. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? Well, I guess maybe not. It depends on how big the rake is. I think a lot of them are 3 big blinds, so that'd be $6 a hand. In that instance, you'd be losing a third of a buy-in. So, you know, if there are, say, 9 buy-ins on the table, every 3 hours that you play, one of them just gets removed by the rake. That's really hard to conquer. Oh, I like this idea. Brandon Eason says, instead of hand histories, let's do hand futures. I like what I think this is turning itself into. Give me some more details. I'm all about talking about it.
But yeah, I'll try to get you an Excel. But it's at the office, and the office might be closed. So I don't know. So yeah, I'll get you guys some shirts.
Silence echoes in a long stretch of trees, already burned by the fire and running. Long, long before it grew old, it was new. Little sun, a lot of rain, and it grew. It's only natural, it's only blood.
What happened? What I miss? Ah. This guy's limping. He's trapping. Let's pretend that's true so I can feel better about missing ace king. Jukebox says, "Hey Berkey, can I call you about a hand I played at the casino? You tell me how to crush live poker, pretty please." No. God, no. Can you recommend the tournaments or promotions that should be pursued? Can you elaborate, Wild Deuces? I'm not really sure what you're asking.
You find it in the strangest place. You find it in emptiness. Can't erase. It's only natural. It's only blood and teeth.
Oh, Giovanni says, you mentioned a possible hand history segment for season 2. Would you consider bringing Chris on to use the solver, like, on second thought? No chance. That requires too much production. This is all real-time stuff. Also, Chris isn't very integral to the solving process. He just ran his first solve not that long ago. So if anything, I would bring Matt Hunt on for a segment like that, but it's too complicated to do in real time. I learned very quickly in the last homeschool that one of the things you don't ever do in real time is math. It's just too nuanced. It's too dependent upon details and parameters, and nothing really good comes from it. It also takes time. We will definitely work on some sort of training video content, though, that will be incorporated in every single week. Whether that's a cutaway package or, a potential lesson that we actually do in the vlogcast, we'll definitely be leaning a little bit more into strategy moving forward. I think you're trolling Bart Hansen Jukebox, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to let this one go over my head. Lose my mind. Let's just fold. Stars is allowed in the US, but only in New Jersey and Pennsylvania right now. WSOP, same thing. There are 4 regulated states right now. 5 maybe, counting Michigan. So I love that you guys are currently watching me time out with Ace King, screaming at me to get back. Hurry! Hurry! Don't worry, I don't make it. Definitely don't make it. Just in the nick of time. Oh, it hurts. would go deeper. All right, there's a $100 turbo that's starting. I'm going to jump in that. 40K guarantee. Nice little event. I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. Derek. Now we go deeper just to be with her. I would go deeper. I love the Leroy lyrics. Hurricane Express. Kyle says, why do you prefer to late reg instead of stack building? These structures are very poor, so you can't really build a big enough stack to withstand the variance of late reg anyway. And since they're re-entry, a lot of your ROI is going to come from being in for the minimum buy-ins. Fishcake says, hey Berkey, have you or do you see yourself backing a few players and have a horse stable? No. It's too complicated. I think the softest market is live, but it's also the most difficult to track, which means that I would have to have a stable full of people that I trust empirically, and the people that I trust empirically aren't necessarily the best poker players in the world. So it's a lose-lose in a lot of ways. Back. All right. Yancey Cougar says, Berkey, can I be a winning poker player if I'm bad at math and don't have a photographic memory? I don't think a photographic memory is very helpful. I do think being good at math will take you a long way. But yeah, you can definitely win in the live realm without the math necessarily. It puts you behind the 8 ball, though. It's very difficult. What up, Will? How you doing, my man? Will Champion in the house. Running one of the longest standing casual home games in Vegas. Or a part of it, I guess I should say. I don't know if he technically runs it or not, but met him at one of our meetups. Really good dude. Appreciate you stopping in. Aaron says, hey Berkey, what do you think about Bill Perkins' tweet on cheating scandal with UG app-based poker games? And do you know anything about what's going on with that? I talked about it a little bit earlier. I think that his tweet is fine. I think that these underground games are ripe for the picking. I think that more details will likely come out. Hey, we win. How do we win this one? But yeah, I think it's like much to do about nothing as far as like people being up in arms. It's not their place, and maybe he incited that a little bit by tweeting such scandalous language. But in a general sense, I think he's just doing what's best to get everybody made whole. stranger in this corner of the world. Before I ever learned to fall. Whoops. Ah. Paying attention to the wrong table. Burke, are you a Game of Thrones fan? What did you think of the ending? Never seen an episode, man. I saw the giant smash that guy's head in a battle scene, and that was more than enough for me. I never saw anything thereafter. Too much. Couldn't breathe. Kyle says, hey Matt, do you have any apps or program recommendations for practicing ranges for cash? I'm not sure what that means. Primarily pre-flop stuff to correct some potential leaks. I typed in the chat, but Preflop Plus, our good friend Ilya is the head of that app. He's one of the best. He also has Postflop Plus, which is a great program in and of itself as well. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. It's my home. Brandon asked, when did you first hear Leroy? So I'm good friends with Brent Hanks, and I met him in 2004 at Salamanca Casino. Leroy Towns actually went to high school with Brent, and every Memorial Day weekend, Brent would host a party called Hanks Fest, and Leroy would play out of his garage. It was a great time. So at the time, you know, everybody was like fresh out of college. We're all about the same age. We actually might all be exactly the same age. And yeah, I just like fell in love with their first album. You know, I was a little bit younger. This is the song that's playing right now, Song About Life, is one of my favorites. And ever since, I've just followed them really closely. I always thought that they didn't really get their just dues for how good they are. To be fair, they didn't exactly put out the effort necessary to go big, like to become a widespread talent. But they're putting a little bit more effort into that now. And I want to see them get their just dues. I think that they are phenomenal as a band. All of their albums are great. I actually think the early stuff is better than their newer stuff, but that's mainly just because I'm not a big country fan, and the early stuff's a lot more folk. Their new stuff is a lot more traditional country, I would say. But in any sense, or I guess in any event, I consider the whole band to be, you know, loose friends of mine, and an undiscovered talent, to say the least. So I'm happy to forever have them adorn my stream. Bathroom stall. When it goes in love life, I'm gonna get on back again. would just sing songs about life. Sang until dawn came around. In our eyes, so profound.
We sang, hey, we've lost our faith in God. We've lost our faith in man. And it doesn't look like we're gonna get 'em back again. We've lost our faith in love. You know we lost our lease on life.
Ay, ay, ay. Punished. Punished. Rob says, have you played much live around the world in Europe or mostly U.S.? Ever played in London? I have not. I've been to Australia. I've been to the Bahamas. Believe it or not, Europe doesn't have a lot to offer in the way of poker outside of online. The tournament series are great, obviously, but rarely do they have good cash. In most places, it's either not very well facilitated or they don't have it at all. So I've never been one to really travel to Europe to play poker. I would like to in the future, but we'll see. I have to get in the habit of playing a bunch of tournaments if that's the case. Do 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 do. Well, I feel like the prodigal son these days. Just all right, decent flop for us. We open under the gun. This is a spot where we're just going to barrel twice. We're going to have a lot of ace-X, so we have plenty of bluffs through this formation. Shouldn't really expect to be up against too strong of a... And with that said, we win. Funkmaster asks, Berkey, what's your favorite casino/poker movie? Rounders, for sure. No comparison to it. It's the only one that matters. And your woman's gone and left me with a gun. But it takes moment love to ride. I will say, man, nothing gets poker Twitter up in arms faster than a nice little scandal. Or the hint thereof. I'm just scrolling through my timeline right now, and literally everyone has a take. Literally everyone. Kravinka says, have you ever played with Chris Hutchinson, man? Or Chris, I can't pronounce his last name. Big Hooney. He won the 25K on Party today for 470K. Yeah, he busted me out of a final table last Sunday. Or last Saturday, maybe. I probably should peel there. It's probably fine to call there. Oh, my bad. Wow, I just realized that. I'll fix it. Artist and song will be up in 1 second. Ooh, we got a little something. There you go. And just like that, you have songs and artists. What am I doing? Saying words and I'm singing words don't mean. Strange. Michael Wong says, have you ever played with Tony G? Which Tony G? The answer is yes to both. I'm just curious which one you're talking about. I played with the young gun Tony G a lot, actually. He's from the East Coast. I believe Maryland originally. So I played with him at the Brigada a bunch. I played with him in the Super High Roller Bowl, etc. The older Tony G from Lithuania, I've played in the big game a few times. He actually played rather tight, surprisingly. Wasn't very chatty. You know, it's different when the cameras aren't rolling, I guess. How would you storyboard a Rounders Part 2? I wouldn't. At all. I don't think there's any shot of us doing a sequel of Rounders any sort of justice. I know you wanna take. What poker app do you use to track your poker sessions? I use Bankroll Plus, which again is by our friend Ilya. They have a whole suite of tools that I think are pretty useful. I'm not sure what most people are commonly using these days. I don't have an iPhone, so I'm always a little bit on the different side of things. When do you usually make time to study? Pretty much every day. I'm either creating content or looking into new content. So be it morning or before bed, I'm almost always nose deep in something poker related. Sean Watt says, are you a fan of deep stack tournaments? I noticed WSOP added a bunch of tourneys where you get monster stacks with longer blinds. I assume you're talking about the live because that's not true of the online site. But yeah, I obviously always prefer deep structure. I play cash for a living, so the deeper the better. but in general, tournaments are tournaments. It's like you'll always have to beat the structure, so to speak. So just being mindful of whatever that structure is and then employing whatever the best strategy is for that structure is going to be a part of your strategy. Jake asked, do you like Billions? Yeah, I just started it 10 days ago and I binge watched all 4 seasons. It's fucking amazing. I think Koppelman's a genius, to be honest. I really like what he's done in that show, particularly with demonstrating how game theory applies to other realms of the world, particularly finance. So yeah, I think it's like pretty fascinating show. Amir says, what's your relationship with weightlifting? Any numbers you're proud of? I've been lifting weights since I was 13. And no, definitely no numbers that I'm proud of. I just grind, man. Yeah, I'm not trying to break any world records or anything. I maxed out at bench at like 285, but that was when I was 18. Once I got to college and was playing ball, we weren't allowed to touch heavy weights unless we were squatting. I think my max squat was somewhere around 400, but I highly doubt my form was correct. I think doing correct form, I probably squat like maybe 2/3 of that. GG, Maurizio. It's unfortunate, man. I feel you, though. I actually have 4 caches already today, and I'm buried on the day. I'm down like 3,000, give or take. These big field low buy-ins are torture. Nope, it's too good to be true. This pot's gonna get interesting. We went 5 ways to the flop. Obviously flopped pretty well with top pair and a backdoor. How does that card come? There's literally like no bad cards that can come on the turn. There just aren't. There are at most 4 aces in the deck that could come. Why is Chin calling me? Why do you guys think Chin is calling me? I'll put him on speaker. Go for Bernie. What?
Hello?
Yeah.
Is this Berkey?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Hey, Berk, what do you think about that tweet with Bill Perkins?
Eat shit.
I feel like it's pretty scandalous.
How bad is your day going that you had time to call me?
Nah, my day's going fine. What you mean? I just won't.
Sure.
Alright, good luck, man.
Why don't you come take over this stream? I can't take much more of this.
It's hard, man. It's hard. You're doing great.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fucking one tabling a $55 buy-in.
You're on the big screen at home, though.
Oh, that's great. Well, you enjoy the show, boys.
Alright, bye.
Later. Tony Gregg, yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute. He just made too much money too fast, He got out of it. Can't blame him. We're all looking for a pivot. On your busted luck. Lisa says, I've heard you mention doing a TED Talk. Any thoughts on what you want to talk about? That's a great question and something I need to come up with an answer to very quickly. I have speaking opportunities, and what's becoming abundantly clear to me is 2 things. Number 1, people want you to write a book, period. Number 2, if you can write a book, that translates into a talk very easily, or vice versa. If you have the concept for a book, you develop the talk first, and then maybe the book formulates out of it. In any event, I have neither, and it's a problem because when people ask me if I'm interested in speaking, it forces me to come up with a pitch on the fly, as opposed to them saying like, hey, you're that guy who talks about this. Would you be interested in talking about that for our group? So it's definitely something that I need to lean more into. It's something I enjoy. It's something I want to get better at. But it's so hard to commit time to something that you can't see the return on just yet when you're already floundering at a bunch of other things that you can see the return on. It's like I have poker, I have a business, I have all these other ventures that I want to shore up. But I kind of just have to make peace with the fact that, you know, chaos just ensues. Nothing is ever correct. Nothing is ever like balanced to the degree of comfort where you can just say, okay, I can stick a pin in that and now move on to the next thing. It's just never going to be that way. Life just doesn't work that way. It's not that clean. So I have enough downtime. I just have to stop firing up a random cash game at 8 p.m. because I'm bored and instead sit down and force myself to empty some thoughts. Have you seen Molly's Game? And if so, what did you think of it? I have. I thought it was really well done. Knowing some of the people that were portrayed in the film, as well as knowing people who actually played in that game back in the day, I hear it was a little dramatized. I hear it was maybe made a little bit too favorable for Molly herself. But for the casual onlooker who doesn't know anything about poker, I think it's amazing. Well, I just don't see how we don't play a big pot here. Start with 100. We can't get 100 blinds in. That'd be madness, man. Madness. All right, we just call. Do. Okay flop. Not great flop, but okay flop. Be nice to have the 9 of spades. Hard to fold to a C bet, but when he bets over half pot into 2 people, it's hard to call. We're gonna let it go. Wow. Grip it and rip it. That has to be an overpair, I guess. When she goes away from you. These multi-way pots are killing me. We're going to try to push our equity through at a very small price. We block the king to some degree. We do have backdoor spades, backdoor straight draw. Button calling here is a nightmare, obviously. He will have like middling pairs and things of that nature. We do turn a gut shot. If we were heads up, I'd consider firing here. Being multi-way, I think we have to check. Daytona kind of protects us a little bit. CT forced to check back when he has some of that middling range. What'd you get showered from, Caleb? What'd you get showered from? Say it ain't so. Can we go play pickleball tonight? I'm trying to do something. I've been sitting at a computer for way too many hours. Way too many hours. I either need to get active or find some cash to play. Alright, he kept it cheap. We're going to peel. Not the river we're looking for. 18 years old, you caught me with the sheriff's wife. For the birds. But the devil came. Can you imagine if this is good? Can you imagine if this is good? What is he doing? Wow, the Jack 10 of hearts. He just needs to bet bigger on the turn, man. He wins. He just wins. Bad judgment. Should I do the rest of this stream as Teddy KGB? Is that something you'd be interested in? All day he check. He trapped me. All right, time to get in the 1K. 15 minutes of registration left. We're doing it, kids. We're in there. We are fucking in there. We did it. See me in the lightning. All right. Good luck, us. Let's see who's at the table. I'm curious if will rebuy. I'm not sure if he's a mid-stakes player who takes shots or a high-stakes player. And I think whether or not he re-enters will help clarify that for me. I wrestled with the Lord. $15 bigs, threes, first hand. Good luck, us. I would walk my... Let's see. Spaghetti's a reg, Dez a reg. Joey Chong is Blueberry. Avid S'mores is Darren Rabinowitz. Chrome King is a reg, though I would guess he either Sadie or... Oh, no, never mind. I was thinking of somebody else. Where's Bornstein's under the gun shove here? I think this is a fold. Yeah, we gonna fold. Ay. Oh, we would've got sucked out on. That's good. That's good news. Polika says, Burke, have you got many friends, not acquaintances? Me, for instance, I don't, as I find it difficult to trust strangers. I'm an extremely trusting human. Here's the weird thing with me. I have a lot of people who are closer to me than I am with them. And I struggle with that. I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I know it's something that I struggle with tremendously because I can't give people their proper... I don't think attention is the right word. Maybe attention is the right word. I don't know. Basically, like, expectations are never on par with one another, right? Like, they'll feel like we're extremely close, where I'll feel like we're one step above acquaintances. And because of that, the exchange is drastically off. And by proxy, I tend to be like, I don't know if inconsiderate's the right word or dismissive or whatever the case may be. But in any event, like, it just works out where I often don't reciprocate the way people expect. This is a pooey spot. This is a no fun spot. I don't want to shove because... Oh, all right. I don't want to shove for a couple reasons. One, I think Katie could be trapping. Two, I don't want to start back at 5,000 chips in a very, very close spot. I'd rather just flop a king and get it in. And then whatever may be will be. Now we're in the cage. Are we all in? I think we're all in. Well, I'm a little afraid of Rude Rube, but you could just have like Queen 10, Ace 10, Queen 9, Jack X. Do I ever watch TV while I play? Very, very rarely. I find it difficult to pay attention. How about using game theory and logic to make optimal life decisions? I like that topic for sure. I think that I still struggle to figure out the model. I'd like to believe that someday I'm going to have a tangible way of communicating that. But as is, I feel like I'm still struggling to hammer that out. Chad says, Berkey, let's play ball or long toss at Sunset Park. I'm in, man. I haven't thrown a baseball in so fucking long. God, I need to. But now I'm in this 1K, so I got to try. Oh, sorry. I played a hand off stream. It was here. Whatever. It's not important. The gist of it was I had King 10 suited and 3 people limped to me, and I had 20 bigs. And I chose to limp back. It came King Jack high. Katie bet half pot. Rude dude flatted. I ripped. They both folded. Rob says, Berkey, recently I'm finding it very difficult to make fold on the river, mostly in tournaments. That's probably because you're getting a good price, and you're not supposed to fold a lot. So I would examine how you got to the river and make sure that you're not getting there with too many hands. Otherwise, it would be bad judgment. Do. All right, moment of truth. Is Love Puddle coming back? He is. Okay, confirmed. High stakes reg. These spots are a bit awkward at 30. I think I'm just gonna flat. How do you evaluate a river shove against you in tournaments? Whether it's tournaments or cash doesn't really matter very much. All that truly matters is the price that you're being laid, and then where your hand ranks in accordance to all the other hands you could potentially call with. This is annoying. I think I have to fold. Do I have to fold? 6 to win 20. I mean, we're getting the right price against range for sure. All right, let's do it. Let's play the checking game. Come on, man. We were getting the right price. Be your desperado. Quads. Boom. All exactly just the same love. Lily says, Berkey, guess we're not as close as I thought. You were going to be my next best man. Next best man? Are you Mormon? Is there something I'm missing? Joe, you might be onto something. My chat pro voice could be Teddy KGB. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. All right, we're gonna flick it in. I won't be your desperado. I don't think we can raise. Calling's actually probably pretty loose, but for one blind. All right, that helps. Pick up a pair. Maybe not. Let these two go at it. An evening in New York hotel. This is the most patient I think I've had to play in quite some time. It's unbearable right now. We're playing as the glasses fell. Peacefully grinding. You were so right about me. All right, fireworks. Let's go. Finally, the hand we've been waiting for, the Niners. With two spews having chips in the pot. Rude and Katie. Lisa said the best talks, books, businesses are always based on your passion. If you could kindly let me know what that is for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I could use a little insight into myself every once in a while. Eugene Green says, Berkey, what's the last TV show, movie, or book that made you cry? No books. I don't read fiction. TV show or movie that made me cry. I mean, I'm not being obtuse or avoidant, I guess. I'm just not remembering any. It's not to say that I haven't ever cried at a TV show or a movie. I'm just Not recalling anything that made me tear up as of late. Man. There's definitely an answer to this. Just can't get enough. What's the saddest thing that I've watched lately? Rob says, Berk, do you ever use a HUD? Which HUD would you recommend? I play mostly tournaments online. I don't. WSOP doesn't allow it, so I don't have a need for one. I haven't played on a site that allows a HUD since pre-Black Friday. To give you an indication of where I'm at on the HUD streets. Many lives I live. All right. The 1K registration's about to close. Looks like we're going to have about 9 blinds going into the break. So I'm going to take it. I'll be back. Back just in time to find nothing. Nothing. Okay. We did it. It's just a little bit of light. Richie asks, if rounders were remade and poker players had to play the lead role of Mike McD, Worm, Teddy KGB, who would you cast to the roles? Worm, I would say... Well, it's weird because, like, Worm has this connotation of being a cheater. But I don't think in today's game that's what it translates to. Like, now I just think Worm is like a chiseler. Like, he's the kind of guy who's just, he's going to be cutthroat for EV. So I think like a Sorrel Mizzy. Although, I mean, I guess Sorrel like has his own background with like multi-accounting and shit like that. So maybe he fits. Sorrel seems like he'd be a good fit. Good luck us in the 1K. GL, let's go. I'll take a fold. All right, hold. Let's go. Yeah. 7. Okay. Big dub. We like that. Let's see. KGB. Ooh, that would be like maybe Paul Fua, right? Like we don't know what's going on there. All right. Let's see. We opened here. Got 3 calls. Let's go big and then check turn. What you left behind gonna drive you crazy. Oh! Maybe that's why you don't go big. You don't want to get one-lined. Closer than your friends until they give you something you can use. All right. I think we can block now. I got blood. Nah. What can you do? And I know that I'm guilty. Said I don't know just what I've done. All right. So KGB. Yeah, I like Paul Food as an answer. Although, like, he's probably too nice to be the KGB type. But, yeah, I don't know. He's mysterious enough where I think it's fitting. And then Mikey McD, who's like an up-and-coming grinder that's just rising through the ranks. I would have said like Mercier maybe before he retired and started a family and everything. So like somebody of that ilk, I guess. It's so hard though because like anybody like of that degree is too established. So I'm trying to think like who's an up and coming grinder that gets like spoken about a lot, but maybe like Ali Islamic. I'm definitely butchering his last name, but like that could maybe make sense. Someone new to the high roller scene. Richard Reiner says, I played some 5-5 with your student Chris K yesterday in Houston. Yeah, he sent me a text. He was playing PLO, which I don't even think he knows how to play. It's kind of funny. Burke, would you advise taking shots at higher stakes if you're not trying to make it your profession for fun or a challenge, and the money lost wouldn't affect your day-to-day life? Yeah, for sure. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if it's clear what your goals are and outcomes aren't going to impact them, then you should just do whatever makes the most sense. So you kind of answer your own question in that regard. Like, the money doesn't matter. You're only doing it for a challenge or for fun. So by all means, like, you should just go for it. You should also be prepared to lose. Richie says, how about a professional poker player? It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's... Oh, right. I already said that. Brian Roy says, you should write a book about critical thinking and using data to make the best decision you can with limited information and luck. You could leverage poker. Yeah, figuring out a way to leverage poker in whatever it is that I talk about as some sort of analogy or metaphor, I think, is a must. But I feel like Annie Duke did annoyingly a good job of that with thinking and bets, and it becomes kind of difficult to reframe that same conversation. Like, she was so smart because her audience is so clear, right? She's targeting the private sector, she's targeting VC and startups and tech and finance and all that other stuff. And you just get to write this strategic book that is formulated in this career path that you have some success in. Trying to extrapolate that out to like happiness and wealth and success and these other loose terminologies kind of fails. One, because we don't have very much data. Two, because luck is probably a greater presence than it is in these more specific realms. And then finally, just because it's difficult to pin down who your actual audience is, like who are you writing the book for, who are you speaking to. Be like Berkey. I like this. I like this a lot. Country. Rob says, Happiness starring Will Smith. That movie will make anyone cry. I think you mean The Pursuit of Happiness. Very good movie. I wouldn't call that really a tearjerker. You know what gets me is the sentimental shit. Like, I don't know, somebody like realizing their dream coming true, or like Rudy would be a good example. That type of stuff gets me. I guess I don't really expose myself to too much of the other. Rom-coms can get me though too. Like, I'm trying to think like what's one in particular off the top of my head that I enjoy that borders on being a tearjerker. For her. Gangs of New York is so good. Such a good movie. And I like... Oh yeah, Leon could be KGB. That's a good one. John Goldsmith says, Berg, how did the session end the other day at 10:20? I was on the wait list, but passed out like 5 a.m. where you're sitting 15K deep, and Moby was losing it. He continued to lose it, man. I ended up winning 20K that set. Well, a little less, like 17.5. My peak, I was up like 22,000. I passed out. I couldn't take it anymore. I think I cashed out for like 15 or 16 at that table, and then I had won 4 or 5K at 510. He's a special creature, man. He is a special creature. Find me, baby, at the bottom of your bottle of wine. I said, hey. Ben Valdez says, Berkey, you've inspired me to go on 100 dates. Good luck, my man. Please write about it. Report back. I want to hear all the details. I heard you got you a boyfriend, treat you fine. And I heard those nasty things you said about. AZ Jammer says, what if the whole Triton is just an out-and-out open money laundering operation for China that interests Fua in the front as the front man? Anything's possible, man. These guys are smart at business. I don't fucking know what they're out there doing. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. Literally would never be surprised by anything. Poker just lends itself to being a shady endeavor. All right, good luck us. We're coming after spaghetti again. Hopefully this time we're 4-1 favorite instead of a flip, or hopefully we have fold equity. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Send me no, won't you? Fold equity's nice. Eights is not the hand that you really want to get called with. Jose says, what do you think about pursuing a bachelor's degree in quantitative finance? I don't know. I'm sure it helps to have it, I guess. I'm not entirely sold that... I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you're going to pursue a bachelor's, doing it in a science is obviously going to be better than in a liberal art. But I'm just not... I'm not completely sold on the value of a bachelor degree. Mine is collecting dust somewhere. I'll never use it. And even just like through networking, through poker, if I didn't have a degree in computer science, but I taught myself how to program, I could have a job tomorrow. So like, I just think so much of it is like who you know more so than what the piece of paper is giving you credentials. Unless you're like coming from an Ivy League. 500 Days of Summer is great. Very good movie. Excellent call there, Ben. hear ripping it here, 20 bigs. Pretty easy shove. Berkey, if you made it to the big show as a pitcher back in the day, would you have had a happy cry bigger than your best reflection on your poker accomplishment? Neither one of them gave me a cry, man. I don't know. I'm just not wired that way. Like, tears and joy don't really align themselves for me. Tears are hard to come by. They generally are a byproduct of sheer and utter despair. John says, is it an advantage to be at a cash table with double max buy-in or the most chips in general? How do you leverage having double the chips of everyone else, or do you just play the same entirely? No advantage. It's all about your effective stack. So it doesn't really make a difference that you cover people. All that matters is that you get to put them at the final point of leverage. But all equations equal out to whatever the effective stack is. I hear sirens with the change of the line. In this water. You don't know me very well if you don't know the answer to that question, Lisa. She says, do we think Berkey would have given up being a pro poker player if he could have been top in baseball? In a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. I would have made, I don't know, 10 to 100x the money that I made in poker, and I would have done something that I love infinitely more. I'd also probably be happier because it wouldn't have forced me to be 100% cold-hearted logical. Like, there was a part of me that was very dumb and irrational and naive that I gravely miss. Field of Dreams is nice. That's definitely a tearjerker. Wow, Stuck Conrad is the nut low. Side of town, there's a river that is bending blue heaven. That was a mistake. John says, I wonder what Moby's deal is. Sometimes solid, sometimes he's actually a whale, sometimes he's grinding min binds at 510, sometimes he's firing 5K bullets at 2550, like it's no big deal. Do you know who he is? If you know who he is, it'll make a lot more sense to you. He's definitely emotionally unstable. There's no questions about that. Good luck, us. We're gripping, we're ripping, we're rocking. We need it. Yeah, he has a long history of being emotionally unstable, though. No shock to see him pop off at these stakes. He also comes from a lot of wealth, so I don't know that it's a bottomless pit, but I know he's definitely rolled. All right, Mormon, don't be a hero. Just let it go, man. Or call with sixes. That'd be great. Feel free to call with sixes. Okay, fine. You can call with sevens. Or ace deuce. I'll take that. All right. Good luck, us. 9 blinds. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Rip. God, that's annoying. GG. 55 re-entry is dead. Man, that got big, too. It's annoying. Roll down. The outside of town, there's a river that is bending. It's like right there. 27 paying this 1K. There are 41 left. We're hanging on by the skin of our teeth. Crazy Stupid Love was very good, for sure. I watched Closer again last night for the first time in probably like 5 or 6 years. I forgot just how insanely good that movie is. It's so fucking twisted, but like it's so twisted in all the right ways.
Hulk Hogan's 6'6".
I have to correct Stapes. I'm overhearing his stream. He's saying Hulk Hogan was 6'3". Yeah. I did. I replied to you. It's hideous. Not the right things, that's for sure. Who's losing? Who's winning? Would you give up poker for a 15-year minor league career at $60K a year? Probably not. I mean, there's a lot of value to being the best at what you do. So in that regard, probably not. Also, you definitely don't make $60K a year playing minor league ball. But that wasn't what she asked. She asked if I could be successful at poker. To which, at baseball. To which, if I had a long-standing career in baseball as a well-groomed professional, in a heartbeat, I would switch it. In a heartbeat. So I keep spinning. Take me for a... When I can't understand what we're trying. All right, I'm going to time out Conrad because he's a prick eating my chalk 0. It's cocksucker. He thinks this stuff just grows on trees. Manny Tucker says, any openings left in the June classes? Yes, sir. Head to homeschool at S4Y It's in the shop. You're welcome to sign up at your leisure. Yeah, Moby comes from wealth. She is... No, not that Moby. The online screen name. John, what's your screen name on here? I'm sure we played together, obviously, but I don't know any John Goldsmiths on here. It's okay if you don't want to tell me. I'm just curious. To die from love, all she ever said. Go on and tell me. Puke. Okay. Pass. Berkey, have you ever played a high-stakes heads-up match? Depends what you define as high stakes. When I had 50,000 to my name, I played heads-up. I played heads-up 25-50 against a... It was actually a guy who was on... If you've ever seen the show Millionaire Matt, Millionaire Matchmaker. His name was... I can't remember his name. He was from Chicago. He's like a nightclub owner or a restaurant owner or some nonsense like that. But yeah, I played him heads up at 25-50 for 25K. Beat him out of it. That was nice. I've played heads up at like as high as... Oh yeah, what am I talking about? I played Aussie Matt heads up at 501K PLO. And I won 1.6 million the first day and lost $1 million the second day. I was playing 10-20 the other day when we played heads up. On the night, dog, how to fly. Peacefully grinding, silhouettes of 1,000 saints, generals, arrows, only whiskey in the well. Hey, great news though, guys. We're in the 1K for a minimum $1,000 buy-in. We are 10 out of the money. And all we need is a little bit of love here with 18 big blinds. You know, we got time, we got room. Well, I guess 15 big blinds now. What percent of effort did you give in trying to become an MLB pro? Kobe gave 125% according. Kobe was fucking blessed, man. I gave everything my body had to give and then some, but I was never going to throw harder than 84. So I didn't have a shot in hell. In the hills there is a mine. Not Delaware, they're shut down now. And music as you slowly go insane. Discipline, let's go. It's okay. Favorite flavor of ice cream? Probably chocolate. Or something chocolate derived. So chocolate with something in it, maybe. Brownies. Cookie dough. I don't know. David says, you probably get asked a million times a day, so for the millionth and first time, what's future of in-person poker? By the way, do you do any fishing? Thanks, man. I'm not sure what live is going to look like. But I think it'll be back. I mean, I don't think it's like gone forever by any stretch. It's just going to take some time, just like everything else, to kind of heal. I used to fish a lot as a kid growing up. I stopped when I turned 16 for a couple reasons. It interfered with baseball, and on top of that, I needed to actually purchase a license. So in my adulthood, I've only ever purchased a license once. Berkey, did you play high stakes cash during the Perky Schmirky days on FTP? I did not. I think I know who that is, though. And I may have played live with him. Oh, close spot here in the 1K. I think we're ultimately going to have to fold. This is just probably too loose of a call this close to the bubble. I think with no ICM, this is definitely a call. But I'm going to go ahead and fold here. Or just time out. Doo-doo. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, like, I'm printing there with Jack 10 in a vacuum, but if he's shoving too tight, which he very likely is in a 1K with a name that I don't recognize, 8 out of the money, probably leans it towards a fold. I don't mind playing a little bit too conservative in that spot, to be honest. Hey Berg, watching these has helped me a ton. I had a $2,800 day yesterday with 2 final tables and never would have happened without this great service you're providing. I'm signing up for S4Y. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Rick. Congratulations on your big day, and I'm happy that in some way, shape, or form we could help. Yeah, Jimmy D. Yes, Joe. Yes, that's the guy, Jimmy D. Rumor is he just like owes everybody under the sun now, so he kind of fell off the face of the earth. But I got him for a little bit. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the night. Like the wings around you shield you from the light. I suck. Ugh. I almost gambled here for 5.5 blinds. I should have. I would have got punished. I would have gotten punished. The 6s come through. Holy road. Oh, oh. Oh. Did you like the movie Moneyball? I did. I thought it was great. All right, bring the pain. There it is. There's the pain train. Let's go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Delaware pulled out. Good luck us here. I don't think they pulled out of online poker. I just think they stopped being serviced by all the liquidity pools. Yeah, Jamie Moyer's rookie year was like 1984. Speed wasn't exactly a killer back then. I think we call even if Bish rips here. All right, good luck us. Let's go. Let's make that Jack 10 fold worth our time and energy. I don't want to regret it. Let's go. Probably a little too tight. Whatever. Bubble time, baby. Top 5 poker players of all time. I don't think poker lends itself to being categorically ranked that way. I honestly don't think that. I don't think it's even feasible to choose 100 and try to get 5 correct, to be honest. Running on empty, eating in time. Artium says, it seems Bryn Kenny doesn't play online that people are aware of now. Yes, it seems surprising. I think he's a GG ambassador, so he's probably playing on there. Matter of fact, I know he's a GG ambassador. He's almost certainly playing on there. Do. Stand in the fire now, nobody's playing for you. All right. We are 5 out of the money. 27 pay, 32 remain. We got the AJ here. We are going to be ripping it when the opportunity presents itself. 2, 3 shorter stacks at our table alone. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm so dumb. I should have called the Jack 10. There are 40 left. I'm in 32nd place. We're not 5 from the money. We are 13 from the money. That makes this shove a lot easier. Makes my ace jack fold a lot worse, obviously. Let's get it through. Yeah, folds. A lot of folds. Yeah, I'm 99% sure that I've played with Perky Schmerky in the big game. I'm pretty confident I recall who he is. I just, not enough to say his name. So I can't remember. All right. Oops. Berkey, what are your thoughts of Ben Lamb as a player? He's very good. One of the true OG live players that I think like has a lot of the skill sets. He's very good at big bet poker as a whole. All right, I think we are. Oh. Chong rips for 20 here. He's covered by Illuminati behind him. It's tough to think he ever has ace-9. He certainly could have king-queen. Alright. Alright. Oh, puke. Puke, puke, puke. I'm just playing too tight. I'm playing too tight. Do 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 do. be your little joke. Do. All right, now there's 35 left. Now we're 8 out of the money. I'm gonna stop. Now I'm gonna play too loose. I'm not gonna make these punty folds. It's so funny because I feel like in the past, and granted, this is just largely based on sample size, I assume. But I feel like when I make those calls, I'm just never dominating. But when I make the folds, it's always demonstrated that I was dominating. Singing the blues. Yeah, I'm gonna regret not calling that ace 10 for sure. Ugh. Never cared too much for me, girl. I could never choose between the heartache of a hero. Oh man. Yes, I played heads up against Jimmy D'Ambrosio of Chicago. That is his name. We played heads up at the Suncoast, ironically enough. There was a 2-5-10 game there that ran consistently back in the early 2000s. Oh, the stars and the fall. In springtime. Wow, Bish with the comeback, man. What did he have, like 3K? Yeah, 3,000. Ran it right up to 15 bigs. Avert your eyes. I'm about to make a tight fold. In real time. Someone born for the fire. Tight, tight, tight. To the pool under the tree. Shout out to my man Tall Brian. Now I have to go back and look. He said Illuminati wasn't in that hand when I had ace 10. Which is possible. Oh man, he's right. He wasn't dealt in. Fuck! Okay. Of course it's a call then. Yeah, Brian, you're right. I didn't see it. I didn't see that he hadn't been dealt in that hand, which changes Chong's shoving range for sure. Definitely makes ace-10 a snap call there. We're going to regret that one for sure. We found one to rip it with, though. Good luck us. Oh. 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 What's Bish limping off of 13? Okay. Okay. A poker player not many talk about, but I feel is a great Hold'em player, especially cash, is Brian Rast. I know you played with him before. Do you feel like he's a solid pro? Yeah, for sure. He's like the consummate professional in the sense that he's able to play all the games. He's reasonably well studied. I think that as theory evolved, it may have overwhelmed him a little bit. Just in the sense that he was very naturally good at the game, and I can relate to this. Like, he was very naturally good at the game. It's hard to play catch up, as the things that came natural to you now are just being discovered through a machine or a calculator of sorts. Oh man, I'm probably gonna regret that king-queen fold, knowing that. Nope, we got spared. We were getting called in two spots for sure. Dead. We were just dead. Wow, how lucky. Okay, 30 remain, 27 cash. Let's fucking go. We escaped there. We got saved by Bish. Oh. This is weird. I think this is just a fold, though. I think that's a fold. Oh, baby. 28 left. Or 29 left, I guess. 27 cash. We're really trying to limp our way in there. Oh, and we're on break. I'll see you in 5. What we got? Oh, baby, just in the nick of time. Let's go. Good luck, us. Oh, let's make sure it was worth it. Good luck. Hold. Deuce. Deuce. Another deuce. Another deuce. No. No. Why? Oh, why? McAllen. Good game, man. Fuck! Why do I bubble all the fucking time? Fuck. I should have rooted for a 10. Because, you know, I can control it, obviously. Oh, man. If somebody else busts, I don't think it matters. Maybe it matters a little bit. I guess there's a slight chance I could sneak into the money if somebody else busts. Oh, man. I'm devastated. Ay, ay, ay. Such a good opportunity. Oh, baby, there's a chance. There's a chance. Ah, Big Hooney shoved on De, and De covered. God damn it, I stone bubbled. I got 28th. Oh, man. Now we're in this fucking Dustbird Turbo. So annoying. Well, I really regret not calling the ace-10 now, which obviously was a huge mistake. I think it's like reasonably close otherwise, but it's still probably just a call. As is, I wish I would have taken an extra 30 seconds to get back to my machine. Ah. Now what? Well, now what? There's nothing left. It's over. Dream's dead. So, what she knows. It's gonna be me. Does it matter if somebody like Ben Lamb could beat 2-5 Zoom PLO? In all honesty? Like, does it matter? People don't understand. People want to like rate somebody's ability as a poker player as whether or not they're winning in an online environment. But like, what does it matter if there's infinitely more money to make elsewhere? Oh man, it's been a long day, and not a fruitful one. Well, barring us spinning up a stack in this turbo, it looks like we're gonna lose about 3K today, give or take a couple $100. That's okay. It was a good week. It was a really good week. I know you guys didn't get to join in on my victories, but had a nice uptick this week. Won about 40K playing cash. And now I'm just here donating in these tournament streets. Patiently waiting. Guys, you're going to wish I missed this one. Good luck, us. This is it. Good luck, us. Do you think we need to hold, or do you think we need to hit a queen? That's my question. We need to hit a queen. We've been dominated all day. We need that queen ball. Okay, good game. Good night. That's all she wrote, folks. I can't do it anymore. I'm going to pass on the 550K. I'm over it. I don't have it in me to grind. There's still an hour left of late reg plus the rest of the night for gameplay. I'm going to go try to play some pickleball. I need to get outside. I need to do something. Bare minimum. I think I'm going to maybe do a light workout, see how I can move around, and if I'm any better than I was a week or two ago. All right. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm sorry the stream didn't go better. That was not the finest 3 hours I've put out on the internet, that's for sure. But we will be back again Tuesday for some more pain, and Wednesday for the vlogcast. So be sure to come prepared to rally us to victory, to hit us up in the chat on the vlog for topics and discussions that we can potentially have. And if you haven't already, check out Homeschool. Go ahead and hit it up. It's in the link in the description below, or you can find it at S4Yacademy.com in the shop. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in as usual, and we will see you in a few days.